I'm your host, Tiffany Reid, and this is Top News. Okay, so let's get into what has happened in music news in January. There has been a lot going on in the world, and the news cycle is getting faster and faster and faster, and so it's hard to keep up. So I'm here to break down some of the things that have happened in the month of January of 2026 in music news that impacts music creators. So on January 9th, X, formerly Twitter, owned by Elon Musk, filed an antitrust lawsuit against 18 publishers and the trade organization that represents them, NMPA. So NMPA, which stands for National Music Publishing Association, that trade organization is led by CEO David Israelite. So some of the 18 publishers that were sued in this lawsuit are Sony Music Publishing, Universal Music Group, Warner Chappell Music, BMG, Cobalt, Concord, Hypnosis, Downtown. I mean, it's a nice long list. And so basically what X is alleging is that the publishing companies are trying to force them into a license for the music they use on their platform. Now, should they be paying for the music on their platform? Duh. It's really frustrating to watch so many different industries try to deny the value that music brings to their companies, to their platforms. You know, it's like, if you don't want to pay for it, then don't use it. And if you decide to continue to use it, like it seems like they have, there was a Digital Millennium Copyright Act takedown filed for all of these songs that were being used illegally on the X platform. And this is the process that the government has laid out for copyright owners to pursue justice. How are you going to be mad about that? Well, they're mad because these 18 publishers are a part of this trade organization called NMPA. And what X doesn't like is that they have came together as a collective and have said, this is how much we think that this license should be for. X is trying to say that they're violating antitrust by doing this. Now, what is antitrust? Don't worry, I got you. Antitrust laws exist to ensure markets remain competitive. So basically what they're trying to say is they're breaking antitrust laws because they have come together as a collective under this trade organization to negotiate and push for licenses for their music. That's the allegations that X is making right now. These publishers that they are, that have been sued in this lawsuit control over 90% of the market. And so basically they're like, if you control 90% of the market and then y'all click up and then you decide this is how much this license should be for, that's price fixing. So guess what, Elon? Do a license with each individual publisher. Okay. That doesn't mean that you don't pay for the music. For those of you who know me, I came from the major system, right? I was signed to Universal. I have written for, lots of artists that are signed to major record labels, right? And so a lot of my friends and my peers are signed to these companies that are being sued right now. And I'm sure, some of these songs that are being fought over are probably songs that y'all have created or are co-creators of, or the co-creators of. So this matters. I think we have to ask the questions of how do publishers work together on things without being accused of collusion or antitrust? How do and if that's the case, if we're going to say that the publishers are guilty of antitrust, then the whole damn system is guilty of antitrust. I mean, we've got DEMA, which represents, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, all of that. And those aren't companies that all work together, but they're under one trade organization. The RIAA is a trade organization that does your plaques and stuff like that. And they represent all of the record labels. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation. If you get bored and you're curious about antitrust, I would tell you to go look up what happened with ASCAP and BMI back in the day when they got sued for antitrust, because it happened. It's a thing. So we'll see where this goes. Elon Musk, pay for the damn songs. Just pay for the songs. Like, The devaluing of IP in this era is astonishing, and it's not okay. So pay your bills, Elon. So on January 12th, on the day that the trial was supposed to begin against L.A. Reid for sexual assault, L.A. Reid settled with Drew Dixon, who is a former executive at Arista Records. And look, it looked like it was about to go to court. So much so that Drew Dixon did a press conference in front of the courthouse because she was there the day they settled. Check this out.
Settlement has been reached, the terms of which are confidential. Drew Dixon is an extraordinarily talented music executive, and this resolution will empower her to move forward with her creative pursuits on her own terms, with her reputation, her voice, and her career reaffirmed. Drew has been one of the most courageous and outspoken supporters of survivors of sexual abuse. Her advocacy, including her instrumental role in advancing the Adult Survivors Act, has helped shift the power balance in the music industry and create a path to justice for survivors.
I hope my work as an advocate for the Adult Survivors Act helps to bring all of us closer to a music business that is safer for everyone. And in a world where good news is often hard to find, I hope that survivors today see a ray of light peeking through the clouds. I just hope that survivors, keep pushing for dignity and justice. And frankly, I'm excited to get back to making music.
So in 2023, Drew Dixon sued L.A. Reid under the Adult Survivors Act, which she was also an advocate for. I'm always so blown away by Drew because her resilience is unmatched. Because of Drew Dixon's advocacy for the Adult Survivors Act, not only was she able to sue L.A. Reid, but Cassie was able to sue Sean Combs. Because of the ASA, Drew Dixon and her work has helped so many. I can't even imagine how many Adult Survivors Act civil lawsuits were filed. And it's thanks in part to her and her advocacy and her courage. So for those of you who don't know, there is a statute of limitations on pursuing civil and criminal claims for sexual assault. And so because of that, California has also created its own look back window similar to the Adult Survivors Act, and theirs is for 2 years. So it's currently open, and it's open until the end of December 2027. So if you've been the victim of sexual assault, contact a civil attorney, talk to them about what's going on, and see if you have a case, because the window is wide open and waiting for you to pursue your justice. Okay, so I know this is supposed to be covering news for January, but the Grammys just happened, so I have to show love to Amy Allen for calling on record labels to pay all songwriters points.
To all the songwriters that are out there continuing to fight the good fight, thank you for teaching me and inspiring me. I'm so grateful. To the artists that I get to work with, thank you. To the labels out there, songwriters should all be receiving points. So we will continue to fight the good fight.
Amy Allen joins a growing group of songwriters and songwriter activists who are calling for fair pay from recorded music. It's no secret, especially if you are not somebody new to this channel, it is no secret that songwriters get paid the least from the song. It just is what it is, and it's awful. And so for years, we have been beating the drum for songwriters to get paid fairly from recorded music. Now, what I love about Amy Allen's, what I love about what she said was all songwriters should get points, which insinuates that some writers are getting points. And she's right. Listen, thank you so much, Amy Allen, for amplifying that message. And I hope more songwriters continue to push for fair pay for our contribution to recorded music. In the streaming industry and in the digital age, a majority of the money is going to recorded music, which goes to record labels. And so that's why you see songwriters advocating for themselves to receive points, because points is a royalty stream from recorded music. So shout out to you, Amy Allen. Congratulations on your Grammy win. And congratulations to everybody else who won. I'm not going to talk more about the Grammys because that was, like I said, that's February's news. But I just had to squeeze that in there because, I mean, come on. I'm really, really excited to go on this new adventure with you guys. You know, when I founded the 100%ers in 2020, it started out of my frustration and my rage for how unjust the system treats songwriters. And, you know, since then it has grown into so much, and it's become an organization that creatives depend on, and it's also become a place where stories are shared. And through this journey so far, I've learned so much about the power of storytelling and the power of media. And so I feel like it's only right that the 100%ers next step would be independent media. So I'm super excited to announce Top News. Top stands for the 100%ers. Top News is our independent newsroom where we report on news that impacts music creators, both financially, impacts your safeties, the things that are happening on the hill that impact what our royalties look like. We talk about AI and all of the things. You know, the 100%ers is my baby and is an ecosystem that is growing and blooming. And this is one of the things that's growing from the 100%ers. So I hope that you will go on this journey with me for Top News as we continue and expand and grow and evolve. We're going to continue to advocate as well. You know, the 100%ers is an advocacy organization and is a resource for music creators. So we'll continue to raise funds for grants. We'll continue to do our song camps. We'll continue to be of service to the best of our ability. And Top News will be here to amplify our stories. Until next time, I'm Tiffany Reid, and this is Top News.